Welcome in, Bub Warriors. Spider-Man Miller here. Today we're looking at a very fun zombie strike blaster in the Nailbiter, a double action clip-fed blaster. So let's go over the blaster in a little bit more detail. Up front, we do have an N-Strike barrel lug, which can accept a variety of N-Strike barrel lugs. I just think the scavenger one kind of fits it, or it does have the telescoping one from that pack that you can get. I currently don't have that pack, but it looks really cool. Back behind, we do have the clip. The clip will raise as the blaster is fired. And then once it raises to the top, it holds a capacity of 8 and it can just push it down and then it'll be ready to fire. Now, there are a few different ways that you can get the clip out and in. I'd say the way that I kind of like to do it is like that. It's very fun. And then back behind, we have, of course, the grip. Which the grip for having this massive trigger is actually kind of comfy, but it also helps that this blaster is very small, so there's not really a whole lot to it, but getting down to the trigger itself, because this is how you prime and fire the blaster. There's no prime action to it. This trigger does everything in one swift motion, and that's what makes it really cool. It does decrease performance a little bit, but we will talk about that towards chrono data. But obviously, it's really fun, and it's overall pretty smooth. Even when you fire it, it is pretty good. Now, I have seen a few issues if you barely pull on it and you kind of half do it. The clip will raise, but it won't fire a dart, so you need to make sure you give it a good... And I think I noticed a little bit of a increase in performance when you actually do that heavy, but we'll go over that in the chrono data. And then there's really nothing else to go over except for in the back, we do have an N-Strike stock attachment point. Now, this stock attachment point is a little interesting because a short stock will actually fit pretty well on it, but I would kind of stick to a stock that's kind of in the middle range for you because the effective length between the stock attachment point and the grip is a little bit longer than most, so when you attach a stock that's fit to your body, it'll feel actually a little long. It's not terribly like if you were to put a long stock on the Evader. This, on the other hand, actually is pretty perfect, but it is manageable if you put like something like, I don't know, the Worker AK stock or whatever. And that is an external overview. Now let's show you this thing firing. Firing some Nerf Elite darts. Now firing some darts on wall flat darts. I know it's been a while since I've shot these. How did one hit the roof of my door? Put the Nailbiter over the chronograph and I was getting an average of about 45 feet per second. Now, I know that seems low, but you have to keep in mind you're priming and firing the blaster with one trigger pull. And over time, this does get very tiring on your hand because it's having to repeatedly... It's just the problem of using any double action blaster. It's going to get naturally tiring, especially if it performs really well, like all the way up to like 80 FPS. That gets really tiring on your hand. And if you were to crank it up even higher, your hands would have to, you would have to literally hold it with two hands just to fire it. So, to be honest, I'm a little forgiving towards that, plus the Desperado is kind of the same thing. It performs a little soft, but it does perform pretty well. And overall, the Nailbiter is a pretty fun blaster. Like, even though it performs pretty soft, it's still a fun blaster. The nail gun aesthetic really brings out this thing as a true zombie strike blaster. The only real complaints I have with it is, like I said, with the trigger not seizing properly or working. And I think really the only other complaint I have is obviously the performance, but it has to be that low so that it doesn't get super tiring. But then again, the Desperado now exists, so that kind of debunks that complaint. But honestly, it's still a fun blaster. Now, if you're looking for a primary, I don't think this is the right one for you. For what it is, this is for an 8-shot clip-fed blaster with low performance, this would kind of be a crappy primary. But I could actually see this working really well as a secondary. So I did forget to go over the sling attachment point in the overview, my apologies. But with this, if you just throw this on a 1-point sling, this would be an epic secondary to just whip off and fire off the hip pretty well. Now, obviously, again, you have to keep in mind that this is for close quarters, not really long range shooting. But once you get that down, this would be a really awesome secondary. And I want to say, yeah, this is a really fun pickup if you can find it. Now, it does show up in thrift stores sometimes, but that's really the only place where I can think you can get it other than eBay. But that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. If you happen to like what I do here, please like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what you like. Also, leave a comment of something you're wanting to see me do. I'm kind of starting to wonder if you guys want me to do something else, but I'll leave that up to you guys. Thank you so much again. Much love, blast on, and stay tactical.